On everyone. Today Will and I just wanted to kind of take you through the process of what it really looks like and what it's entitled to when starting off with a potential client, and the process of what it exactly looks like when you're potentially acquiring multiple units in a certain area. So for example, for this client here, we're in Cleveland, Ohio. It's a brand new building. It's absolutely beautiful. They're looking just to fill occupancy with corporate housing, travel nurses, and event specific people, which is right up our alley. So, we were able to get on the phone. I was able to, explain exactly what we do and what we're entitled to and our promise. And it was, no brainer when it comes to at least giving us a chance. So what we've been able to do is, we're always looking at pictures, making sure that it fits our luxury brand here and make sure that, it's something that we can acquire. And then obviously the second and most important thing is location to us. So obviously we've already, I should say not us, but our team has already done their part on researching, the best locations in Cleveland and then going out and reaching out to these individuals. And that's how we came on board with this potential partner here. So with that being said, now that we have an understanding of where we're at, where the location is, now what our partner wants to see are the exact numbers and what they're entitled to on a monthly basis when it comes to revenue. So then what happens there, once I close the deal, then I'm able to hand it over to Will. And all we really need, and all Will really needs, guys, is just the address for the certain location. And then he is able to actually
too. Yeah, so that's a big thing. But I want to make sure that I'm in frame. Yeah, sorry, it's like our first video doing it like this style, but we kind of wanted to show you guys a little bit like the behind the scenes of what we really do to make sure that a deal works out in favor for the partners. Because if they're not making money, it's not a good relationship. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing for us is that our clients are 100% satisfied with working with us, because that's how we expand our business. Our business isn't going to grow by having people be unhappy with working with us. So basically, for this client in particular, what we wanted to focus on was their current market rents. And a little bit about this, guys. So the way that short-term rentals work, they don't really care in terms of what type of unit they're going to pick, whether it's on, the 20th floor or, the third floor. They don't really care. The only thing that they really care about is what it looks like and what style of unit it is, whether it's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or studio, because that's really just going to determine how many people they can fit in and the location that the unit's in. So in terms of for this specific property, I would probably have us only take over the lower rent ranges for that specific unit, as long as it's not like facing, some McDonald's, whatever it is, like delivery zone or something weird. But in terms of like the higher rent ranges of your property, I would save those for your long-term tenants, because those are the ones that actually care about what floor they're on and all that kind of stuff. But so then we kind of go into from determining what they're currently marketing these out, we're going to go into the ideal expense or typical expenses that they're probably going to incur. So what we do is we factor in like a 90% occupancy overall. Basically, that's like, if you were to have a unit rented out by a long-term tenant for a year, it's going to take you a month to get that person, or whatever the case is. Or for like 2 years, it's going to take you 2 months to get that person. I mean, right now they're at 0% occupancy, so they're like really trying to just get people in the build.
They're brand new, right?
Yeah, they're brand new. So basically, from there, we're going to start with a 1-bedroom at 1,200, because we're not going to take over the 1,600, and then we're going to multiply that times 12 months, and then times that by 90% occupancy. That's $12,960, and then we're going to subtract a lot of the fees associated with long-term rentals. It's a big thing that a lot of people don't really factor in, especially if you're in like a really luxurious area like Miami or Los Angeles, where you actually are going to have real estate agents leasing your properties for you. Typically what they do is they take just a month rent. So that's 1,200, or if you have a leasing agent like this client probably does in their office, that's just a month rent. And then you're also probably going to have other things like your tenant rehab fees. It's like a small thing, but it does add up. Incentives just to get people in the door. That's a really big thing. So like a $500 Visa gift card is very common. And then $100 for like paint repair or drywall costs, cleaning charges, all that kind of stuff. But so then after that, we go over to a software called B&B Vestor. It's kind of like the MLS for short-term rentals, except it's a little bit buggy. That's kind of the issue with this. So basically with the comps with an MLS, I'm a real estate agent. This is kind of like how I do things. So it kind of, makes me a little bit irritated when it's not like that here. But the MLS is updated by real estate agents and real estate agents alone. And it's 100% accurate. So the only things that are on there are active listings or closed listings that you can pull comps off of. Versus with this, I mean, we have listings that someone puts up on here for like maybe a day, or they want to rent out a week while they're on vacation. So then they register that week as the yearly revenue for that property, which then messes up all of the other data things. So you want to make sure that you're pulling only one property for your comp rather than an average of a market. Because the average of a market could be somebody that's literally just renting the unit for 2 months, or somebody that has utterly zero idea what they're doing. Like they could be canceling guests left and right, or they have horrible photos, or it's just a garbage unit. There's no way of really differentiating that like you have with filters on the MLS. So what we do is we try to find somebody that actually knows what they're doing and has pretty good reviews. So for instance, this place, it's weird. With this unit, he actually listed it as a 2-bedroom, but in reality it's a 1-bedroom. So that's kind of a little bit odd. So basically from there, the more important thing is focusing on the occupancy, the average revenue per month, and the additional revenue that they've got coming in. So this guy, he understands what he's doing with in terms of additional revenue from fees and cleaning fees. So we're going to add, 142%, but that's including cleaning fees as well, which is a very large expense monthly. And then he's already at 80%, so we don't have to factor in vacancy as well, which beforehand, long-term rental standpoint, we did have to factor that in. So basically from here, you can see the numbers here. We've got 2238.18 per month on average with 142% additional rev for cleaning and profit fees. So then around half of the 142% is going to go towards the cleaner. So we have about, 1.21% left to add to our revenue in terms of profit and cleaning, which leaves us at 2,708.20 that we are at in terms of revenue so far. And then we take, typically for this style of deal, we're not going to be managing it in person, so it's not going to be a full service. We're just going to take the online communications and customer management, marketing, and just getting people in the door. Which if you're interested in basically what that all entails, I'd look at our other video that we have on our website that kind of goes over pretty much everything that we do from a marketing standpoint and kind of how in depth we go into with retargeting as well as optimization and ads. So then after that, we've got 23.97 for internet and utilities, which we factored in as just like 150. It's probably going to vary a little bit, but it's not too much. So that times 12 or 2151.97 times 12 is going to be 25,823. And that compared to what they're doing for a 1-bedroom, which is 11,160. So basically, I mean,
and that's based off a long-term rental, right?
Yeah, it's based off a long-term rental. Yeah, so this is short-term rental profit for the owner with 1 unit for a 2-bedroom versus short-term rental profit versus long-term rental profit for a regular 1-bedroom long-term rental. So obviously the numbers for 2 bedrooms and 1 bedrooms are going to vary just a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to make more money more often than not by doing things as a short-term rental rather than a long-term rental if you're in a good location that's not saturated like this is. Versus if you're in another location where there's 8 million short-term rentals there, like if somebody puts up this massive building with like 50 units of short-term rentals in there, it's probably not going to be the same numbers. That's when things really kind of get messed up in terms of supply and demand. But for right now, with where this location is, it's an amazing short-term rental, and that's probably why we're going to go forward with the deal. So that's kind of what you guys can do from your end for your own properties and your own portfolio or your own building. But in terms of that stuff, I would just get us on the phone, to be honest with you, and we'll actually show you what we're doing and where we're pulling our numbers from so that you're doing it the right way. I wouldn't go on AirDNA, and I also wouldn't really just look at a typical Airbnb online, because some places look fantastic with their marketing, but if you look in their back end, they're actually not doing anything correct. Hopefully this video helps and that wasn't too much of a ramble, but yeah, we look forward to talking to you guys soon. And to book a call with us, just literally hit the link below and we'll get started working with you.